Hello, everyone. Welcome to Intelligent Oversight, Harnessing VMS AI Analytics for Superior Surveillance. I'm Nina Matthews with CBC. I'd like to take this chance to introduce our speaker today, William Godoy. William is a well-versed field application engineer at CBC America, having spent nearly 11 years in the role. He specializes in designing and implementing security systems for various enterprises and has a background in IT management. His education includes a master's in project management and a bachelor's in network and communications management, complemented by certifications in aviation. A couple of housekeeping items that I wanted to go over real quick. Please keep yourself on mute until the question and answers. We also prefer if you put the questions and answers into the chat box so they're more organized, and they'll all be answered at the end. And there will be a recording available after this in case you miss anything. William, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you for that introduction, Nina. And thank you for everyone who's, excuse me, on the webinar. Appreciate you attending and listening to us today. So as Nina mentioned, we're going to talk about VMS, our VMS platform and the artificial intelligence analytics. And really what it comes down to is, we're looking at today's day and age, right, where we've seen threats are becoming more advanced, more intelligent. We've seen break-ins where people are, copying badges and getting in through crucial, doorways and infiltrating. Data breaches, I mean, you name it, things are getting out of hand or a little bit beyond our reach for some, in some instances. So today we're going to talk about the video management software, what it can do for you in combination with AI analytics. And it's going to help us redefine the way we, excuse me, the way we see our cameras and the way that we interact with them. So today's key takeaways. So we're going to explore how analytics enhance surveillance by providing intelligent video analysis. We're going to gain insights into streamlining your surveillance operations by reducing false alarms and improving response times. Discover how to enhance safety and operational efficiency with smarter surveillance technology, and learn how the CORTROL VMS platform's scalability and CVA AI neural network analytic engine allow for tailored security solutions. So smarter surveillance. And as we're talking about this, threats are evolving all day. And they're constantly becoming smarter, right? So what we have to do as security individuals is find a way to identify these advanced threats that are coming into play, and we're going to identify all these different threats using the power of AI. And one of the things I want to clarify here before we get deeper into this conversation is what AI isn't, right? So AI. Without dumbing it down, I'm going to say AI is dumb because we still have to tell it what to do. But what it isn't, AI is not a brain like you see it depicted in this slide here. It's not a brain that sits on the computer that eventually will take over the world one day. This isn't Terminator. This isn't the movies. It's not what you think. So AI, the way we perceive it here with security is, yes, it is an intelligent system that uses machine learning. So we as engineers have to teach the analytic engine or the AI intelligence that what a person looks like, what a cat versus a dog looks like, what a horse looks like. We still have to tell it and train it on what to do. It is very intelligent in the sense that it works with a neural network. And what that means is the neural network takes the input of data, which is what we're looking at as far as the video streams go. It analyzes that data in real time. So it's learning, it's constantly learning what the camera is seeing, right? So if it's foliage, it's trees changing, different attributes as far as the sunlight goes, things like that, it knows and builds an algorithm around that, and it has that deep learning function. So that's where that intelligence comes into play. Thereafter, it spits out that data or that output for the things that we want, right? Because now we want to get alarms, maybe we want to trigger door locks, we want to trigger sirens, lights, you name it. So, and this is going to help us in turn respond faster to any threats that come about. So, and again, so the role of technology, right? It's going to help us improve. And again, it's the machine learning that's going to help us monitor threats as they come about throughout our landscape of security. And one of the things that we'll talk about here a little bit too is how we can proactively mitigate some of these risks without having to add additional personnel. Oops, sorry, I think I skipped ahead a little too far. There we go. So yes, so after analyzing all these videos through AI technology, we're going to be able to make informed decisions, right, of the real-time response do with the analytics is say, well, actually, let me rewind back a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about what the analytics used to be like. So the analytics used to be a little bit more dated, right? So obviously that's that's a given. But the dated portion of it is we used to take a camera where the analytics used to live on, or if it lived on a server, for example, and we used to tell the analytics, okay, this camera that we're going to analyze is living 12 feet high. It has XYZ field of view, and it's that we want you to capture a distance of 100 feet, and then we're going to tell you a person is this pixel size versus a vehicle that's this pixel size. And it was a huge calibration ordeal, where today we don't have to do that. That's, again, where the intelligence comes in, right? The AI now, because we have this built into our software, that we don't have to tell it what to do. It knows what people look like, regardless of the distance. We just need to tell it how fast we need to detect all this information and provide that information in real time. So we're going to go through that in a little bit here. So streamlining the operations, right? So again, having said that, we don't have to calibrate the cameras anymore. All of that is done on the back end. What we do have to tell it though, however, is we need to tell the system, again, kind of the dumb side of the AI is we need to tell the system when you are 75% confident that you're seeing a person or higher, then give me that information. If you're 75% or 74% or less confident that that's an individual, don't send me any alerts. This is how we're going to minimize false alarms. And we can set these different attributes for the intelligence platform and say, okay, you're looking at this camera. The scene dynamics here are a little bit faster. Things change often, right? There's cars or whatever how busy the camera is. We need to tell it, how to analyze it. If it's a slow-paced environment, things aren't really moving. It can now adjust its algorithm to how it perceives the data that it's receiving, again, in the neural network, and then it'll spit up that information for us. So with this streamlining the operations, automating the surveillance tasks, right? So now what do? The camera has identified, or I'm sorry, the artificial intelligence has identified that there's an individual breaking into a specific zone. Rather than us having to react and send, a security guard out to a specific area, these are automated. We can now automate tasks with that information that's given to us. So what does that mean? Well, that means, harnessing the power and creating that synergy with our VMS platform is now we can say, okay, this was 75% confident it saw an individual. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go and send a message out to our IP bullhorn maybe, and give them a message, an audible message that individual can hear and say, hey, you are loitering in our facility. Please, if you are looking to visit somebody, visit the center. Now, if they linger for a little longer than a minute, for example, we can increase the severity of that message and keep going on and keep going forward. And now, if we need to set off a siren, if we need to send out an email, do we need to lock down the facility? Is that person carrying a gun? Those different things we can analyze. So now we're able to do this efficiently. And now identifying some of the operational inefficiencies is, right, we're talking about now an operator looking at a monitor. Are they actually looking at these threats or are they not? So with the VMS platform, when we have all of these different things tying in together, now we can create alerts that an individual can see. They don't have to stare at the screen forever, because as humans, we all get tired. Machines don't get tired. They're constantly monitoring for us. Let the AI do the work, right? We're just going to sit there and say, okay, here's a threat that AI has identified. Do I need to bookmark this? Do I need to tag it? Do I need to dispatch somebody to that specific area? Those are the different things where it's going to streamline the operations for us. So, and again, so now we're talking about the benefits of AI and the VMS synergy. Kind of talked about that a little bit. So we can enhance the accuracy by telling it to be more confident about the objects that it's seeing before it actually sends us an alert. And this is true of most analytics today, where it can get confused. It's not going to be 100% accurate all the time, but we can help facilitate and minimize those false alerts that are going to come into play that we may need to ignore. And all of this is happening in real time. Again, this is where the intelligence part proves itself. Again, that neural network, it's taking that data, analyzing it, and then sending out that information that we need. So event prediction and prevention, right? So some of the things that you'll identify with using AI is things that you know, things that you don't know, and things that you didn't know. And that sounds funny, but think about it this way. I was working with a client not too long ago, and they wanted to prevent break-ins on their fence line. So what we didn't know is if people were actually going to break in, and that's typical, right? So we created a fence line alert, and sure enough, we started to identify that on Mondays and Wednesdays there were break-ins happening, and then we started to create some data from that, because now we're matching routes from security patrol, who's supposed to patrol that area, and whether they're being detected. We can create nice and beautiful bar graphs to tell you if your security guards are actually doing their patrol routes the way they're supposed to. What we discovered is that some of those patrol security guards weren't actually patrolling on those Mondays and Wednesdays. What does that mean? Inside job, possibly? Who knows, right? I'm not one to tell, but it looks like the days that they weren't patrolling, that's when they were breaking in. So we didn't know that there was an inside job happening there. So it's those little things that you can start to predict and prevent further. Do you need to have an HR conversation? Those types of things. And again, the automated alerts, as we mentioned before, using a bullhorn. Do we need to set off a siren? Those things like that. The workload reduction, I think, is the biggest part. Again, we as humans, we get exhausted at looking at screens, but machines don't get tired. Again, I'll reiterate that. Machines don't get tired and they work. Eventually, in their age, I'm sure they'll get tired, right? But for the time being, machines don't get tired and they'll work 24/7 with no complaints. And what's nice about this, and AI, as we're speaking about this, AI can be introduced and adapted into everyone or pretty much anyone's cameras today. We play nice with everyone. So there is no, oh, you have to have this model or it only works with these type of cameras. No, we'll take analog or IP cameras and then we'll add analytics to that. That's the beautiful part about AI is, we're not sticking to one model or one manufacturer for that matter. So this is where the cost savings come into play, right? So you don't have to invest in a huge or a new amount of cameras. We can detect and do some of this AI overlay on older, lower resolution cameras as well. Will they work as efficiently? Probably not, but we can still do and detect people, cars, animals, you name it. And on side of that cost savings, right? You don't need to add more personnel to to look at cameras or to do patrols and things like that. Again, let AI do the work. And again, so here we are. So we're trying to tie everything together with our platform, which is Ganz CORTROL. This is our video management software, and it's so much more than that. I know video management software it's the keyword for what it is, but it's more than that. It's more of an automated central station, right? Where we can automate our different security protocols as we see fit to our organization. And CORTROL, which is our platform here with our recording platform, it again is very user friendly. All of this interface that you're seeing here, including this little thumbnail, you'll see there's some active detecting in that. It's very simple to use. It installs and configures very quickly because a lot of these analytics are built in directly into the software. So there's very little or turnaround to learn the software. So talking about this, so here's CVA is what you'll hear when you talk or when you talk about some analytics. So some of the key lingo or acronyms, right? CVA, and those are the modules that we use. So it's CVA is the analytics. So some of the analytics that live in CORTROL, or they're fully integrated into CORTROL, is the facial recognition. We do license plate recognition, video content analysis, or VCA, right? The opposite of CVA, gunshot detection, smart parking, and a whole bunch more. That's what we can do. So, and again, as I mentioned before, this is native to CORTROL's ecosystem. This is an efficient and scalable. It's GPU based. So, you know, if you're worried about the power that needs to go into utilizing some of these advanced analytics, it does not use a CPU. You can, we don't recommend it, but you can. But we do recommend going to a GPU. So if your server doesn't have one and you want to add this to this, we do recommend we use NVIDIA graphics cards as a GPU for your servers. And it basically uses CUDA drivers to help for some of that computational or additional computational data that's coming through. And it'll help enhance the performance of the analytics, and it'll just streamline everything here for you. So here's a list of the CVA add-on modules that we have. The license plate recognition is exactly what you think. License plate recognition will read the license plate data from any place around the world pretty much. We can use this for access control reasoning, or lockdown, for example. So you can set it up whitelist or red list any of the license plates that are coming in. So if you have, for example, a gate and you want to have it automated, so when a car comes up with a plate that's recognized, it'll trigger it based on that license plate recognition. Same thing with the facial recognition. Facial recognition, we have a full database. You can save your employees' thumbnails, whether it's for time and attendance that you're trying to track, or you need access control lockdowns, things like that. One of the important things that we've done with facial recognition too is identifying badge versus face, right? So is somebody clocking out for somebody that's not supposed to, match that with the facial recognition. That's another key feature for that. Another nice part about that is, say there's a disgruntled employee, or for that matter, if they show up in their car and you need to lock down the facility, you can trigger that directly from CORTROL. CORTROL can manage all of that data. So if we have a disgruntled employee or just an individual that seems to have stolen things in the past, we can trigger events from that. Smart tracking. Smart tracking allows you to track an individual as they go from camera to camera. This is a new and intelligent feature that's been added into CORTROL. Object detection is just that, just as basic, people, animals, cars, and gun detection. Smart parking, tell us if there's available parking, traffic analysis, you name it. One of the more important ones that has been used lately has been the hard hat detection and the PPE detection. And that's a good way for different facilities or warehouses where they need to determine whether that's an employee or not, or if they're supposed to be in the correct area because they have specific vests on with different colors. So that's a good feature that we have available with CORTROL. CORTROL does come in two different options or editions. The first option is the CORTROL Premier. So this one's ideal for small to medium-sized businesses. It integrates the video analytics, kind of what we're talking about now. One of the key features that's available on this is the interactive maps with alarm linking. So you can import a CAD drawing into your software, lay out where your cameras are going to go, and from there, you don't even have to click on the cameras. You can hover your mouse over it and see what's happening in real time. If you want to attach a door strike to that, you can lock it down directly from that map. We even do a mobile map, which means your cell phone can also be used as a panic camera. So let's say you have a blind spot in your facility, but you have a patrol guard walking around and something's happening. They can hit a panic button on their cell phone. They begin to record and stream directly to your server. And then what happens is that interacts with an interactive map on CORTROL that follows them. So if somebody else is watching that video, they can find out where he's patrolling in real time, and it'll use that GPS data directly from the cell phone. So that's a really good feature that we have available. And this is just all in the Premier version that we have. The next version that we have is stepping up into our enterprise level option, which is Global. Global gives you all of the beautiful functions that Premier has. It also adds the capacity to manage multiple servers. So let's say you have 40 servers deployed nationwide or globally. You can manage them all through one console, manage all the events and actions. as well as manage all of your users through one single interface. You can pull in your Active Directory. You can do certified VPN access like Okta. You name it. There's a full slew of different software or suites that are embedded into the global enterprise level. We do also offer failover as well as archive replication to offsite servers if you need that, and video wall support, which makes it easier to manage multiple monitors as well as offsite multiple video wall monitors. CORTROL integrates with over 190 manufacturers. We have a lot of, excuse me. We have a lot of models that are integrated into the software platform already, and that will continue to grow. I believe we do some updates about 2-3 times a year, and typically it's to update that list, but we do have some hot fixes in there, and that list continues to. We also do custom integrations as well. So if there's a platform or access control system that you're working with at your facility that maybe we're not integrated with yet, you can reach out to us and we can have that conversation with their engineers, have them provide their SDKs, and we can work together to integrate that into CORTROL to make it a one-stop shop for you. So in summary, AI analytics offer real-time insights and alerts. This intelligent approach optimizes the monitoring process by empowering security teams to act swiftly and effectively, as I mentioned, because we can create alerts that will actually pop up for that operator, whoever's looking at that, and we can say, hey, do we need to dispatch somebody? Do we need to create a lockdown for our facility? What steps do we need to take here? A VMS equipped with AI analytics minimizes false alarms and improves response times, allowing security personnel to concentrate on real threats by eliminating irrelevant events. These smart systems prioritize critical occurrences, improving overall situational awareness. And again, right, so maybe we want to ignore duplicate threats or duplicate events, I should say, and increasing the confidence level of the detection, right? Maybe we only want to detect when the AI tells us it's 80% confident that it's a person. The integration of AI analytics and supplementary modules into robust VMS boosts both safety and operational efficiency. So we want to be more efficient the way we look at things, and AI will help us do that. The scalability of CORTROL VMS platform combined with CVA AI neural network analytic engines enables customized security solutions. Not everyone's fit the same. Please connect with us if you'd love a more in-depth training or demo. Please connect with us. We'd love to tailor any of the solutions for CORTROL or its analytics to your specs, right? Not everyone fits the same bill. So we can definitely customize anything for anyone. So by all means, reach out to us and we can do a nice little demo for you. So now I'll open it up for Q&A. Nina?
Yes, hi. If anyone has any questions, please post them in the chat. But we do have a couple of questions that were sent in ahead of time, Will. So
Sure.
I will start with those.
Sure.
The first question is, how can end users generate revenue by using AI?
How can end users generate revenue by using AI? So that's a good question. We've seen this a lot in the RVM sector, right, or remote view monitoring, where you can park this. Again, the servers don't have to live on site. You can pull in RTSP streams or those video streams from different sites. So does that mean that you will host the analytics for your customer? That's a good question, and you definitely can. You can host at your end, deploy analytics, and spit out that information for that customer as well. So yeah, there's a good way to, and a good market for that in the RVM sector.
Okay, let me see if we have any questions from anyone in the audience. Not yet. Another question we have is, does Ganz use zero trusted AI data, continually verified and authenticated from sensors, recorders, cameras?
Yeah, so for the cameras, yeah, there's constant connection. Again, because of the integrations, they're constantly logged in with zero trust. So there is no disconnect and authenticating all over again. So the integrations allow us to do that. And again, if there's something that you have that needs to be integrated into our our platform, or maybe it's missing, by all means, reach out to us and we can help you integrate that into our platform.
Okay, great. Another question. How can we obtain a demo license?
Demo license. So we'll have our information here. You can also request it through our website, but we can definitely give you a demo license, which will be 100% working. So everything we kind of spoke about today will give you 100% of the software. You'll be able to utilize that for 30 or 60 days, whatever have you. It does come with one analytic license engine as well. So you can test that out and see how that works out for you. So if you want to reach out to us, by all means, we can set you up with the demo license today. No problem.
Oh, we have a few questions coming in from our audience.
Sure.
The first one is from Tom. Can you have your own analytics? For example, is there a red mug in a scene?
At the
And
moment,
oh wait, I'm sorry.
oh,
And what hardware is required for video walls? Oh, two separate questions. Sorry.
okay. So at the moment,
But
I don't think we have, actually, I know we don't have a color plus object type. This would be more of an, I forget what that one's called, but it's like a cloud data analytic. But we had this before, and I know it's in the works now, where we can say, there's a percentage of color that we're looking for in a specific area. That we can definitely do. As far as the video wall management side of things, it depends on the scale of the videos, right? So um, I believe you can probably manage, depending on the PC or server that you want for the video wall, you can probably do up to 8, maybe 12 on one machine. Additional hardware may be required, as well as a graphics cards processor, right? So the GPUs, in order for you to use that much data out, because that's a heck of a lot for a video wall. But yeah, I think no, not I think. I've done up to 12 off one machine for sure.
okay. We have another question from George.
Sure.
George says, can the bandwidth be throttled back to minimize bandwidthing issues, high memory?
Yes. So rather than actually taking in the high stream, we can utilize the substream. We're not necessarily throttled back. I think that's more of a camera side thing. But we can definitely pull in just the substream of a camera, which is minimal as far as the bandwidth goes. So that we can definitely do. We can utilize that rather than the mainstream, and that will help or greatly reduce the bandwidth coming in.
Okay. We have another question from Tom.
Sure.
Is there a size guide for servers, please?
There is. So we do have our Ganz calculator that you can utilize on our website. That will tell you, so for example, if you're looking to do 200 or 300 cameras, it'll tell you what hardware you need. If you're going to run analytics, it'll tell you what potentially you could use as far as a GPU goes, how many of those will actually need analytics. So you can definitely utilize that calculator on our website, and that will help you get through that. If you want to reach out to us as well, we can help you spec that. We tend to over spec a little bit to allow you for growth, but we can definitely do that for you as well. No problem.
We just have a new question from David. Can you receive a stream and output to multiple locations like a backup monitoring center?
Yes. So yeah. So you're saying if that stream is coming from offsite, we can pull that in. That's not a problem. We can pull that in from anywhere, assuming that the proper networking has been done on that specific site. We can pull in those streams.
Is the bandwidth stream controlled by built-in AI in the NVR or a separate box?
Now that will be controlled. For example, in this instance of what we're referring to as far as CORTROL goes, that stream is being controlled by the camera itself. So on the camera itself, you do have bitrate settings that you can adjust, and that will be controlled from the camera direct.
Okay, that is all of our live questions we have at the moment. I have one more question that was sent in ahead of time.
Sure.
Can you show a working demo?
Yes. So as I mentioned before, if you'd like to connect with us, maybe you want to see a little bit more of a live action demo of CORTROL with the AI analytics working in real time, please connect with us, reach out to us, and we'll be more than happy to do a webinar with you on one-on-one, and we'll show you how the analytics work in real time. What are some of the alerts that you can get, and some of the notifications that you receive on screen that can actually be customized. So we can definitely do that. No problem.
Okay.
I appreciate you being here with us today and listen to me ramble about AI. And please, if you have any other further questions, my information is there in the chat box, and we'll be more than happy to help you, and would love to do another display or webinar for you.
And please be on the lookout for email later today or tomorrow morning. We'll have a link to the recorded presentation if you'd like to